about your actions under pressure, not about your words, not about those things, about your actions. And after that fight, he never went to you guys with your microphones and said, I was hurt. He never did that. He's a fighter. He knows the dangers when you get in the ring. He knows his responsibilities. That at the end of the day, you're responsible for the action in that ring. You're responsible for what happens. Your choices. You're responsible at the end of the day, whatever the results are. You are, good or bad. So he never said, "Oh, I tore a calf muscle." He tore a calf muscle, but he never said that. He never used that as an excuse. So I think it's about taking the strength of that person, when hopefully we're going to be fully right, and being right, and taking the confidence that come with knowing that you could be even halfway through and stay in that fight injured, knowing that there were things that worked for you in both fights, and knowing that there's things that Manny, again, showed that he's very good at, but knowing, again, that you can be ready for them, and you will be ready for them and prepared for them.
They both fought Tim Bradley and Manny Pacquiao both fought Marquez. They both fought Brandon Rios. How do you compare the performances?
You know, I don't get caught up in that stuff, son, because styles make fights, you know, and, styles make fights. And depending on the individual style of the person fighting that guy, it's going to come out different. It doesn't mean one guy's better, you know, and one guy's worse. You know, it just means how those styles mesh when they got in the ring with those particular guys. Listen, we're dealing, the most important part of your question is that we're dealing with two fighters that have shown that they can win with the best. They've been in with the best. You know, like I said earlier, they've been to Super Bowls before, you know, and it's not their first rodeo. This is not new to them. They deserve this stage. They deserve this kind of opportunity to once again find out who the best is.
And Coach,
what are your
Tim
assessments of
Bradley
the first?
pulls this off and beats Manny, with Mayweather being retired, did this make Tim Bradley the best pound-for-pound fighter on the planet?
I just want to pull it off. And then it's up to you guys. You guys are smarter than me. Hey, it's up to you guys.
What's the log in the ocean mean?
You guys are the brilliant ones. So really, you guys are the ones that do the media stuff, and I don't mean it in a funny way. I mean it seriously. It's up to you guys to say that. If we're fortunate enough and we're good enough to be in that position, that will be up to you guys. And even though I don't go on the internet, I will find out from somebody what you say.
What does the log in the ocean mean?
It's for you to figure it out.
Not even a hint?
No.
What are your first two? What are your assessments of the first two fights against Pacquiao? And do you think Bradley won the first one?
I'm not afraid to step out into something that I know people are going to try to throw back at me. But, you know, when you believe in what you're saying and that you know that you can answer to yourself at the end of the day, and you care about that. You care about that as a father, as a husband, as a person. That's the only standard you need. So I'm going to say this. I know a lot of people out there are going to say, yeah, Teddy, you're saying it now because now you're with him. The first time I want full disclosure for the ones that don't know. The first time I saw that fight, it was in a setting a little like this with a lot of eating going on, a lot of talking, a lot of distraction, and the volume of the fight. And I wasn't watching it with a vested interest. I was watching because I'm in a business, but not because I had to comment on it or I had to train a fighter. And I thought that Pacquiao won. Yeah. When I got this responsibility, now I have to look at it again. Turn off the volume, don't have any of you beautiful people around, and no eating, nothing, bottle of water, and sit and watch it. I saw 6 rounds that Timothy won. And here I am. I'm not saying I saw him win. I saw 6 rounds that he won. And I didn't take a piece of paper and score it. But that's what I felt when I got up from my desk after watching that. And I said, good. we can work with this. We can build something here. And listen, it's going to be a monumental task when you're fighting one of the best fighters of the last decade, one of the most explosive, dynamic fighters as far as pure ability. It's going to be a tough task, but we're going to do our damn best to be ready for it.
Tim, what do you love about Teddy Atlas?
What's not to love, man? Look at, he's the best dressed in here. Looks good.
I learned from you.
His analogies, we are firemen.
Cares about his job, cares about people, cares about integrity. I mean, what's not to love about this gentleman right here? Loves his family, have a great family, great kids, healthy. Come on.
Everybody says that he will be the difference in this fight. Do you believe that? You're smiling.
Yeah. I think honestly,
He's too gracious. Let me answer for that. I'm not going to be the difference. The difference is going to be what it's always been for his 10-year career. Him.
I gotta do what's right. I have to do what's right. I gotta do what we train to do. And you know, we don't like to make mistakes. That's plain and simple. And Teddy has taught me that. Don't make mistakes.
Is this fight going to take you from, as you call yourself, a C-list celebrity higher?
I hope not.
Are you going to watch the Oscars?
No,
Why not?
I don't have time. I have 5 kids.
Tim, what has been the biggest change you've seen yourself as a fighter since Teddy's came along?
Biggest changes as a fighter. I think honestly is you.
He
you
dresses
trying to ask,
better.
You trying to ask? I can answer that. I can go a couple of ways with that, but I'm gonna go from about the boxing standpoint. The fact that now I know and understand where to be, when to throw the right punches at the right time, and from the right distance, and from the right position. I think that's probably one of the number one things that he emphasizes on me constantly, day in and day out. Other than being a man of your word, doing exactly what you say you're gonna do, and doing it, and follow through with it. And I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned from Coach. And you know, if you make a promise, don't ever break it. Always do it. Yeah.
Tim,
Go ahead, Coach.
Will you have Terrence Crawford be one of the sparring partners to help get ready for April 9th?
No, Terrence Crawford is no sparring partner.
That's
He's
true.
a champion.
That's very true. And I want to just add one thing to what he said. You know, Timmy always knew that. Again, he's a gracious kid, but he always knew how to act like a man. He always knew how to behave like a good human being. That's why I'm here. That's the only reason I said yes when he asked me to train him. Teddy Atlas didn't teach him that. He didn't have to. He knew it already.
Tim, before this fight came up, they mentioned Pacquiao against Crawford, Pacquiao against Broner, Pacquiao Khan. How did you feel when you got the call and became official that Tim Bradley, Manny Pacquiao was Manny's last fight and you're in there?
I said, oh. I said, trouble. I like it. I didn't really feel anything. It was like I was surprised. I truly was surprised that they would pick me, but it makes sense. It makes sense. We're 1-1 split. It doesn't matter what anybody say. We're 1-1. And it made sense to have a third one, and why not have it on his farewell fight? And I think also that my performance for Rios definitely had a lot to do with it.
Tim, you said it's a Super Bowl. Do you feel like it's a Super Bowl? And then what is the one thing that you got to get used to under those big lights?
Used to. He's been there before. This ain't his first Super Bowl. He's been in a lot of
No,
them.
but what is it that when you get there, you always got to look out for once you're on that stage?
Do the most important thing. The most important thing. Win.
When
Nothing
you
else
first
matters.
when you first fought Pacquiao, you killed his 7-year winning streak. If you win this fight, it'll be ending his career as he retires. But what would that feel like for you?
If you're expecting me to say I'll be sad, I'm not gonna say no. I'm gonna say I won't be sad. But this is about legacy for me. This fight is not personal; it's business. I fight and I train for every fight like it's my last fight, so I don't know anything different. So just because it's Manny Pacquiao, I'm not gonna go climb Mount Everest and go train on the moon. I'm gonna do exactly what I need to do to get prepared for the fight with the right amount of work, the right amount of time in the training camp, and the right amount of focus and preparation to get ready for the fight. And we'll be ready. And April 9th, during preparation, we're gonna sketch out. We're gonna sketch out the plan. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna be working, my whole team. We're gonna be out there working, and then fight night, baby. We're gonna color it all in. Fight night, April 9th. That beautiful sketch gonna be a masterpiece. Masterpiece.